My name is Mike Heroux. I'm heading up with Sarah and others the Collegeville Workshop on Scientific Software, the 2020 version. And I'm here with Sarah right now to talk a bit about developer productivity and get her thoughts from her experiences at Intel and in her professional life on this particular topic. So Sarah, to get started, I'd really like to know, some thoughts from you of your working definition of developer productivity. How do you reason about productivity to help make decisions about how to improve it or address deficiencies that you might be seeing, in your own work and in your team's work?
Yeah, great, thank you. So I think of productivity as a measure of the time or effort it takes for someone to kind of produce software that can be used to accomplish some task. And as you said, I'm with Intel on the math kernel library team. And so a lot of our stuff may be focused on adding a performance optimization or a new feature or functionality to the library. And then additionally, productivity can also be, how much time or effort it takes for someone then to use that library in their own software and accomplish some tasks. And just to give kind of a little background on Intel MKL as a whole, it covers many domains from dense and sparse linear algebra, fast Fourier transforms, random number generators, vector math, others. It's been around for probably 25 years or more in various forms, used by millions, highly optimized. Supports multiple operating systems, different threading libraries. So it's a very complex code base that's been touched by scores of developers across the years. So yeah, having library developers and then users of the library being productive is very important.
Yeah, it is. And actually you bring up an interesting point. You're a math library, so you not only have to worry about your own developers' productivity, but the productivity of the developers who use your software. So you have a double target for that. That's a very interesting point. That's nicely stated. So given that definition and your current experiences, what are some of the challenges that you've observed, let's say recently, in development efforts?
Yeah, so one of the challenges now we're looking is just kind of ensuring we always have a good, stable build with results in a reasonable time frame. And so there's issues where a commit may seem to be okay locally, but then when integrated into overall has issues, or an infrastructure issue, maybe a filer is temporarily inaccessible, or timeouts from overloading systems or whatever. So those are some of those issues we've been having. Dependency and compatibilities between all the different tools and runtimes that are needed is another challenging aspect when we want to upgrade. One part needs to make sure it still plays nicely with all the other tools. As this is a virtual conference due to the pandemic, we've been doing a lot of working from home, as I'm sure many many others have, and that can have some of its own challenges with not really being able to just look over the cubicle wall to see if your neighbor is at a good stopping spot to ask them a question, and kind of having to instead sort of plan the sync ups and collaboration. And then just kind of always with the kind of the users of the library aspect, with APIs, making sure they're usable, and being able to explain the workflow that's expected, and dependencies, link line changes. With all of that is also very important. And
I mean, you have a large product suite, and it sounds like just the sheer nature of the dependencies and all the various perspectives that the library tries to satisfy, that just comes with complexity and the challenges that are part of that.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've been kind of following, and there's the One API initiative from Intel to kind of help with some of these challenges of portability to different architectures, not just CPUs and GPUs, but FPGAs and other accelerator hardware, having a kind of APIs that handle those.
You're on the forefront, from what I can tell, of the need to address multiple devices. Not just CPUs, not even just GPUs and CPUs, but FPGAs, a full gamut of different hardware. And I think the name is apps, One API, that allows the users of your product, who are developers, to be more productive, from what I can tell. That
exactly, and help kind of before kind of a very maybe different software stack needed for every different architecture, and trying to just make the portability better, which then helps productivity.
Right. When it comes to technical strategies, what are some thoughts you have there for trying to improve, based on your experience nowadays?
So testing at various levels is, I'm sure, very common and important, being able to, build and test locally, and then hopefully fast running continuous integration to quickly check, nightly testing, which maybe tests even broadly, and then more broadly, and then weekly or monthly, or whatever larger broader testing there. So then automating anything that you can to save the time, so you don't have to manually do it. And then another, well, I guess it's more on the cultural side, but decision.
Well, let's transition. Let's talk about cultural stuff, right? Yeah, go ahead.
So decision making is a big part there, where ensuring the right individuals are empowered at the right levels to make decisions, and then trust in their choices, and then also keep track of these decisions, so you're not having to kind of hash out what was decided, or wondering, was a decision finally made? And then that can also help for maybe people who are newer to the software code base to understand some of these design decisions that have been made and decided on.
But that's interesting. That's interesting. So it sounds like you're making a pointed effort to push decision making down to the as low as it can go to still be a responsible decision. Is that a fair interpretation of what you just said? And of course, like, some changes need to be higher up, if it maybe affects the external APIs, like that would want to be decided on a broader scale, but if it's a more implementation detail, having that very good.
And then having kind of the psychological safety to allow people to maybe bring up these topics of, why was this decision made, or do we want to make a different decision, to promote also, inclusion and diversity in all that, because, you get better ideas when you have more viewpoints and backgrounds, experiences to consider.
Great comment. Thank you. So we've kind of gone through the four kind of sub-themes of the workshop. Any other last minute comments or remarks you want to make?
I just think this is a really great theme for the conference this year. I'm excited to listen to other recording thoughts on it. So let's just keep this conversation going, keep making incremental improvements to help our productivity. And just always keep them in mind, and continue, pay down technical debt, and ensure we, reward and plan for these activities in the same way that we do for, more standard functions and features.
Yeah, that's excellent comment. Thank you very much. And thanks for your participation in the organizing committee over the last 2 years. It's been just great to have you as part of it, and the community that you represent is, I think, really important to the overall picture for improving developer productivity. So thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been wonderful to be part of this. They always come away energized from the meetings and with good ideas.
Very good. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.